It's a lonely game. That's what people, that's what my woman doesn't understand. She thinks I hate her. You don't understand, sweetie. My loneliness is so important to me. And don't try to help me not be lonely.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like anybody right now. I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to see anybody. Yeah. I just want to be introverted Grinch. If somebody saw my holidays from Thanksgiving to now, it would be a sad scene in a movie that somebody would think they wrote.
Patrice O'Neal, man, always telling it like it is, never afraid to be himself, but he was speaking facts. There's a difference, though, between being lonely and being alone, you know? And I'm gonna tell you guys, lonely means to be sad that you have nobody around you. You get into a depressed state because you don't have anyone to talk to. You have no one in your presence. But being alone means just that you have no one around you. But you're not sad about it. You're not upset. You're not depressed. You're just by yourself. It's important to know how to be alone because being alone is very good for you. Okay? Before I start this video, man, make sure you hit that like button. Also, hit that bell if you haven't subscribed already. That way you don't miss a video. I greatly appreciate you. So how to be alone but not lonely. I want you guys to understand that when you are alone, it gives you perspective. It gives you time to figure yourself out. See, a lot of people never get in touch with who they are because they're always surrounded by people. They always have these different energies bombarding their aura field and their energy, so they never know who they truly are. And when you're around people for too long, you actually lose yourself. You don't know who you are at all. You guys can even attest for this in your own life. You might have a group of friends and y'all might use the same slang, y'all might use the same type of lingo, right? Just unconsciously because you guys are together. You know, y'all speak to each other all the time. So just by nature, you guys are influenced by each other, being influenced by each other's energy, right? And over time, you can lose yourself. So when you isolate yourself and go into solitude, you detach from all those energies and you actually go back into who you truly are. Solitude, being alone, is very important. Another good thing about being alone is it actually gives you creativity and more productivity. I notice when I'm by myself, man, my productivity goes through the roof, like no cap. And that's because I have time to really put things in perspective of what do I need to do? How does Dante get to the next level? See, when you always with people, you're distracted. And being surrounded by people all the time can actually make you lose motivation to better yourself. Right? You might have told somebody your goals or what you want to accomplish, and they might have shot it down. You know, tell you, oh man, that's gonna be hard to do. You can't do that. You know, trying to basically influence you that what you're trying to do is dumb, is stupid. Because I'm gonna tell you like this, everybody that's in your circle don't want to see you eat. They don't want to see you win. Some folks, they'll hate on you. You have low-key haters around you, right? Everybody don't want to see you winning. So when you isolate yourself from people, from friends, now you're in your own space. All that motivation, all that drive, all the dreams that you have, you can actually manifest those. You can make those come into real life because you have nobody in your ear telling you that you can't do it. You have no outside distractions, no outside influence. It's just you and the Most High God. That's it. See, what you don't know is when you sit alone by yourself, when you go into solitude, you actually get answers. You start to get information out of nowhere, right? Because it's quiet. You're in a situation now where you can actually hear. You got people that pray, you know, they pray for a new job, or they might pray to be in a new situation, whatever you might pray about, right? And you wonder why you don't get the answers, or you never see, you know, what you need to do to get that answer, right? And all it takes sometimes is for you just to be in solitude. so that you actually can hear the answers or hear the next step that you need to take. But if you always surrounded by people being distracted, how can you hear? You hear the Most High in silence, right? In silence. And not only can you hear better, but you actually can gain more peace within yourself, right? You gain more peace because you're not trying to prove anything to anyone. Now, don't get me wrong. You don't want to be alone all the time. Like, there's nothing wrong with going out and being with friends, being social. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm a socialite when it comes time for me to be that way. But I like my solitude. It helps me get things done. It helps me recenter and refocus on my goals. And it also helps me to evolve into a better version of myself. It's like I'm going into a cocoon, right? When I go in my solitude moments, I go into a cocoon and I'm actually evolving. You know, I'm breaking down. I'm going through whatever stress, whatever information that I've gained, anything new I've learned, all that's being broken down and I'm being molded into a different person. And that's what you're going to go through in solitude. We're not lonely. Don't get it twisted. I'm not sad because I don't have no one in my space at the moment. I'm not sad about that. There's a difference between you sitting by yourself and doing nothing, you drowning in low vibrational energy, and then you get into a depressed state. That's different than being by yourself so that you can muster up your energy and build your aura up strong enough to achieve your goals. To figure out who are you, right? That's a difference. So I don't want you guys getting that confused, man. I don't want you guys thinking that you see people that's isolated and they're lonely, they don't have no life. Especially as you gain wisdom. You know, the more wisdom you gain, you realize that everybody's not for you and you don't need to be around everybody. You'll realize that there's only a few people that you actually have that's in your best interest, that have your best interest at heart. Having hundreds and hundreds of friends, man, all them people ain't down for you. You know, they're going to put on a facade around you to make it seem like it, but deep down, their intentions might be to hurt you, and they try to learn you. They want to learn you so they can hurt you. You only need a few friends. You know, when the time is right, you can call them friends up at any time and y'all set a date and y'all go hang out or do what y'all got to do. But especially as a grown man, you don't need to be around people all the time. You don't need to be around your friends all the time. Learn how to stand on your own 10 toes. That's how you build a kingdom, right? You never see two kings together. It's only one king per kingdom, right? But then you have kings that commute between kingdoms, right? They have their own kingdoms and they'll send messengers or they'll commute or they'll have meetings. But as far as having multiple kings in one kingdom, nah, it don't work that way. It's only one king. You got to treat yourself like a king. Build your kingdom. But you can't build your kingdom if you're constantly being thirsty for attention. Right? You know, I talk about men being back in their masculine energy. It's not masculine for you to need validation. Men by nature, we are lone wolves. We are hunters. Right? We know how to survive on our own. We like to be in solitude because it helps us figure out life. You know, we're logical creatures by nature, so we like to compute, you know, A plus B equals C. We want to figure out, you know, what's the next step? What is the equation that I need to hit the next step in my life? But it takes solitude and being alone to do this, guys. Right? Being alone is also good because it helps you realize this is why being alone is also good, because it helps you realize, bro, you don't need nobody but yourself. Only person you need is yourself. The Most High gave you everything that you need to be successful. And sometimes people can get in the way of that. They can stop you from really walking in your true purpose. People can bring their traumas and their red flags into your space. And now you just absorbed all their energy and you wondering why, you know, you feeling low you wonder why you feeling depressed. Because you're absorbing all these energies. I know me personally, man, I absorb energy like crazy. I can't be around people for too long. I can have my moments where I can be social, but I have to have isolation. I have to have solitude to recenter myself, right? I realize when I'm around people, I can't really think clearly. It's this thing called hive mind thinking. So there was actually this study done, and it shows that when people are in groups or large groups, they actually become dumber. So everybody starts to think the same because you are all attached in the same bubble or the same aura field. And usually you have one person that's doing all the thinking and everybody else is just mindlessly following along. This is why you see in movies when there's like some catastrophic event happening, the end of the world event, and everybody's, in traffic, everybody's just running around screaming, acting crazy because people get dumber in groups. Everybody's just being followers. You see everybody else running and panicking, so you're gonna do the same thing. But when you're by yourself, you actually become more intelligent. The person is intelligent, but people are dumb. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to come at nobody. All I'm saying is when you're by yourself, you have to think for yourself. You have nobody else to do that for you. So you actually use your own brain power to be able to get out of that situation or to come up with new ideas, a new formula for your life. Okay? So this is why being in solitude, you'll know that you start to better yourself. You start to pick up good habits like reading. You start to want to take care of yourself, eat better, take care of your hygiene, dress better, become smarter, become the best version of yourself, heal. In order for you to do shadow work and heal your inner child, take solitude. This is why all the prophets like Christ and Buddha and Muhammad, they all went on a pilgrimage. They just left their home and went into solitude for years. They did that so they can grow, so they can figure themselves out, so they could become the people who we know them as today. But they couldn't have done that unless they went into solitude. You feel me? So guys, being alone is a great thing. Please don't confuse that with being lonely. Lonely, that's a whole different topic, right? Usually when you're lonely, it's because you're dependent on someone, because you don't know how to fend for yourself. That's a whole different thing. Being alone is going to help you become the best version of yourself, right? You ain't got to go forever. You don't want to be alone forever, but if you can, try to have periods in your life where you are alone so that you can become the best version of yourself. All right. With that being said, guys, if you want to donate to the channel, I'll leave all my links in the description. Also, if you need a consultation, you want to talk to your boy Tay, I'll leave a link for that as well. Y'all have a beautiful day, man, and I'm out. Peace.